You've probably heard the expression that talk is cheap, right? Well, that applies to many things, and your Upwork profile is no exception. Anyone, anywhere, can claim to be an expert at anything. So it's good to have some proof to back up all that talk, or in this case, text. That's where your portfolio comes in. Your portfolio is a collection of projects that you showcase that are related to the skills that you are marketing on Upwork. So after we log into Upwork, again, we'll be met with this screen. Click on Complete My Profile. And we'll navigate down to the Portfolio section. Here we are. And click on Add Portfolio Project. Now this is optional, but I highly recommend that you add projects to your portfolio just as soon as possible. Now, you don't want to cram as many projects as possible into your portfolio section. I tend to be fairly picky about this. In fact, maybe a little too picky. I pick about 1 to 2 projects per category that I'm going after. So for me, I might have 2 projects that pertain to voiceover work, 2 for podcasting, and 2 for general audio production. Maybe even something like audio recovery. But for now, I'm just going to add 1 project so you can see how this works. So for this one, I'm going to add a podcast that I used to co-host and co-produce called Wallaholics. So for project title, I'm going to write Podcast Production. And then I'm going to name the show Wallaholics Show. Next, we'll move on to project description. So under project description, I'm going to write, The Wallaholics Show is a podcast all about the city of Walla Walla, Washington. I've attached a sample clip for you to listen to. I co-hosted, edited, and mixed this episode. So depending on the situation, you might want to add a whole lot more than this. You can see on the right-hand side of the screen, it says the best project descriptions include these elements. 1, your client's goals for the project. 2, details about your contribution to the project. And 3, an overview of the project's success. So when you're adding projects to your portfolio that you've worked on for Upwork clients, I would highly recommend that you do what Upwork says right here and add all of that. But this was actually the very first thing that I added to my profile before I had any Upwork clients, and I would suggest you do the same. So whatever your area of interest is, go ahead and add a project that maybe you did for yourself, and you can just have a mini description just like this. And if there's something that comes along later on that maybe you did for an Upwork client, you can go ahead and swap that out at a later date. So next, we're going to add a thumbnail. Here we go. And then it asks us to choose a category. In this case, I think design and multimedia would be a good choice. And sure enough, you can see in the subcategory, audio production is listed. Now there's a spot you can put your project URL if it is online somewhere. That's completely optional. And then you can also put your completion date if you would like. The next thing to add is skills, which is entirely optional, but I recommend you fill this out so that clients can see what skills you used to complete this project. So I will find a bunch of audio skills to add here. And since I was a host and radio show hosting is the closest you get to podcast hosting, I'll add that as well. And then last but certainly not least, I need to find my audio sample to add to this project. So let's browse for that. I have it right here. It is called Wallaholics Sample Clip. Now there is a size limit to what you can upload. I'm not exactly sure what that is, but just know that you can't upload an entire movie or anything like that. So I guess one thing I forgot about was to add a caption. So I'll just write Wallaholics Sample Clip. And that's it. So we'll go up to Publish Changes, click on that. It will save, and then we can preview our profile. Scroll down, and sure enough, now we have 1 project added to the portfolio. Now, once you have done a few projects for clients, you can add some of their projects here, of course, with their permission. And there is actually an option to link the project to a job on Upwork once you have some Upwork jobs under your belt. But obviously, you will not have any jobs under your belt when you first start out, so you'll have to add a project that you've done on your own or for a different website. So now you have a very strong professional title, a great overview, and you even have some proof backing up what you say you can do. So the next thing we're going to add to our profile is something a lot of people skip over, and it's to their detriment. And that is an intro video for your clients to watch when they come to your profile. I totally understand that it's a little bit scary getting in front of a camera for the first time, but you need to do it. I talked earlier about the importance of clients liking you personally, and this will go a long ways towards doing that if it's done the right way. So when you're ready, let's move on to the next lesson.